Podcasts are hot right now. How do I know? Well, you're listening to one right now, aren't you? But you might be wondering, how on earth do I get my voice out there and start my own podcast? It all seems so intimidating. Between hosting and platforms and monetization, it can get real complicated real quick. Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We started this podcast over 2 years ago, not knowing clue one on how to do it. So how did we do it? We did it with Anchor. Anchor is the free podcast app with creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on all the platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. And everybody likes money, right? Well, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So go right now, download the free Anchor app, or go to Anchor FM to get started. It's the E-Commerce Minute, your daily dose of e-commerce, tech, and retail news with your hosts, Bart Mraz and John Suter. The E-Commerce Minute is a production of Sumo Heavy, a digital commerce consulting firm in Brooklyn, New York, and Philadelphia. Find us on the web at sumoheavy.com. It's E-Commerce Minute episode 622.
In today's episode, Uber is adding public transit tickets to its app in Las Vegas.
Most people can agree it's a foregone conclusion that you'll lose some cash in Sin City. So how exactly are you supposed to afford actually important things like food or transportation when you've gambled away all your monies? Uber might have a solution. Uber users in Las Vegas will soon be able to purchase public transit tickets through the app. This makes Las Vegas the second city to bring public transit into its services. Last May, Uber announced that it would begin selling train and bus tickets through its app for customers in Denver, Colorado. It was the first step in the ride-hailing giant's high-stakes quest to become the de facto smartphone app for all modes of transportation. Since then, the company has integrated public transportation schedules and directions into its app for over a dozen other cities like Boston, London, and Paris. But in Denver and now Vegas, you can actually purchase tickets right from the app. It's a pretty simple process. When users enter a destination, they'll see a transit tab, which will include real-time info about their options. Under the transit ticket tab, they'll be able to purchase and activate a range of Regional Transportation Commission, RTC, of Southern Nevada tickets, including strip and all access, hourly, and monthly passes. The new transit feature is powered by Masabi, a London-based tech company that builds mobile ticketing software for public transportation. The two companies came to a deal in 2018 to integrate the latter's mobile ticketing platform into the former's app. Masabi already has a pre-existing relationship with RTC, which allowed Uber to integrate ticketing and schedule at a much quicker pace than usual. Uber is rolling the feature out over the next few weeks and says it chose to announce the change during the CES to highlight its commitment to making public transit an integral part of the company's future. Go Uber. No thoughts and prayers on this one?
I'm trying to.
What are you looking there?
Well, at least they did something right.
Okay.
This is true.
It's true.
Well, I mean, between Lyft and Uber, I mean, they're getting into other things than just cars, right? So, was it Lyft? They both have scooters and stuff like that, wherever scooters are available, or bikes. So I guess it's a good, from the other side, it's a good way to step into Uber sort of apps where you can use for transit.
Actually, what you said is entirely correct in that these companies want to be known as transportation companies, not just as ride sharing, because we don't know what's going to be the future of ride sharing. Could be self-driving cars, could be something else. And they're trying to cover all the bases. The food delivery thing is a whole other thing. They're just basically using an infrastructure that's already there. But Bart, I guess what you're trying to say is maybe it's a person who maybe has not used Uber, but will slowly be kind of indoctrinated into the whole Uber ecosystem via public transit. And then maybe they'll say, well, now that I've got this Uber app on my phone and from what I read, the cost of the bus rides are almost the same as a car. They may say, well, you know what, I'm going to take a car. And then they're used to taking a car. And then now they're car people. So, yeah, but either way, I mean, they're just covering the bases. I get it. I mean, it's good business move on their part. And from what we see, it wasn't that hard to integrate. So a no-brainer for Uber and just in time for CES. So all those drunken convention gamblers can take a bus instead of walking and getting themselves killed.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a very important part of this, right?
Yes.
Like, no intoxicated driving, no harassing Uber drivers. Just get on the drunk bus.
Get on the drunk bus.
Anybody who tries to drive a car in Vegas should be taken aside, a little talking to. This is what you do.
I mean, you kind of do. Just don't do it in the middle of the strip.
Yeah, don't do it on the middle of the strip.
I've never been to Vegas.
You've never been to Vegas?
I've
You've never
never-
been to Lost Wages, Nevada?
Lost Wages, Nevada. That's
I've
right.
never been.
Well,
We have to remedy that.
yeah. You know what? Bart, what do you think? I think 3 days is about all you need. 4 days is too long.
Brittany needs to go with me.
Yeah.
Oh God,
You might
interesting
die.
Place.
that's scary.
I think everybody should go to Vegas at least once.
Yes.
To
Yeah.
experience it. I've been
here.
there many times. Bart's been there 1,000 times. I like it. You know, it's like I go there, I spend 3 days, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get home and get away from all this. And then 6 months later, I'm like, I really
You forget. It takes you 6 months to
you
forget.
forget all the silliness. You just remember just the lights and all the things going on, and it's just always moving. There's always something to do. Everywhere you turn, there's something. It's just a really exciting place. But I don't think our listeners came to hear a diatribe on Las Vegas. So let's wrap this one up with a little stat time. Revenue from bus trips on the Las Vegas Strip is down 29% over the past 5 years. The Las Vegas Review Journal reported last year, and that's, I guess, due to ride-sharing services. Hopefully, maybe this app will remedy that. According to Denver's Regional Transportation District, 37,289 tickets were sold through Uber in 2019, and the company reported that it saw a weekly growth in sales of 15%. Yay, that's good. For people who began to use ride-hailing services, their public transit use was reduced 6%, according to a study. The study surveyed more than 4,000 people in Boston, Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, Washington, D.C., Seattle, and San Francisco between 2014 and 2016. And finally, Uber has a global market value of $72 billion as of Q4 2019. You guys got any thoughts or comments or prayers about this?
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. Oh, we're going that route. All right.
Thoughts, prayers, feelings.
Brittany, well, we're going to have to schedule you a trip to Las Vegas, strictly for research purposes, of course.
For science.
Just for science. Everything for science. All right, that's your e-commerce minute for today. We'll see you on the internet tomorrow. That's it for today's show. If you like the show, do us a favor and subscribe or leave us a review on iTunes. And don't forget, you can now listen to the e-commerce minute on your Amazon device. Just add e-commerce minute to your flash briefing. And finally, if you have a comment or suggestion or just want to say hi, find us on social media at Sumo Heavy.